Temporary protected status just got announced for Ukraine and Afghanistan. In this video, I'm going to talk about what are the immigration implications for immigrants, documented, undocumented here from Ukraine and Afghanistan. And what is TPS and how does it benefit them? Hi, my name is Mohammed Salim. I'm an attorney practicing immigration law since 2010. In this video, I'm going to cover what exactly is temporary protected status, TPS, for people from Ukraine, Afghanistan who've just recently been designated, meaning those countries are eligible. Immigrants, who have recently arrived, up until about March and prior, will be eligible for temporary protected status, and what benefits come from getting temporary protected status, such as getting a social, a work permit, maybe even a travel document to travel outside of the US if you're here. So we're in my office. Let's continue talking about TPS. TPS, like I mentioned before, is a special type of relief that is given to people from designated countries. The first thing that has to happen is that the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security has to designate that country. That recently happened this month in March. You had the DHS Secretary designate Ukraine and Afghanistan, two countries where there's conflict, war going on, and as a result of that, those countries are able to have their immigrants in the United States be given protected status, a special type of protected status. Now, it doesn't mean they can stay here forever. It's temporary, and the designation basically said that for an 18-month period, right? And they also said that, that designation is going to be for people who have continuously resided in the United States for a certain period of time. So if you arrive today, which is basically the end of March, and you try to apply for TPS from Ukraine or from Afghanistan, it will not take place. So first, for Ukraine, the designation said that eligibility requirements are people who have resided in the United States since March 1 of 2022. That's really important. So if you come after that at the end of March or now and say, hey, I'd like to get TPS, it's not going to be possible for you to get temporary protected status. You may have some other options available, maybe asylum, maybe some other type of adjustment of status, but not TPS. That's only for a specific period and under certain criteria. So that's what we're talking about here, only for TPS. For Afghanistan, which was also designated in this month, it says that for people who have already been residing in the U.S. up to March 15 of 2022. So again, if you show up today, at the end of March, when I'm making this video talking about it, you're not going to be eligible for TPS. You may have some other options available, asylum as well, something else related to adjustment of status some other way. Family members may be able to sponsor you somehow, but not TPS. TPS is very special, and the eligibility for that are very strict and what they provide for. All right, now let's talk about what are the benefits of TPS. What can you get if you're an immigrant who's here, undocumented or documented? It doesn't matter. As long as you can show the eligibility that you've been able to reside here and meet some other baseline criteria, obviously, those are the criteria there, you should be able to get temporary protected status, which will allow you to submit an application for a work permit. Really important. So, if unfortunately you're working off the books, you apply for TPS, it gets approved, you get a work permit so you can get a social and be able to work in a normal job. Whether it's Amazon or wherever, Uber, you can do that. You can get a driver's license made as well because of that identification. New York, important fact, you don't even need to have documented status to be able to get a driver's license made, so that's not a problem. The other thing that is really important that I want to share about TPS is that you can also apply for a travel document. So let me give you an example. If you happen to be from Ukraine and you had some family that weren't able to make it to America to get TPS, they went to another part, maybe in Poland, maybe in Germany, wherever it is, some other part of Europe or anywhere, you can ask for permission to be able to leave the United States for a brief period of time, go visit them, and then be able to return back into the United States. that's very special and very particular. Same thing for Afghanistan. I know I have clients who are stuck where their family members are in Pakistan, so they need to, be able to say, hey, I need to travel to see my family, my parents, maybe in Pakistan, maybe in other parts of the Middle East, and so forth. So those are the key things for temporary protected status. So if you are listening to this and you have friends, family, maybe even yourself, you're from Ukraine, Afghanistan, the registration period is going to open soon. So what I recommend is, you can contact me or any other attorney. Try to make sure you can get your documentation in order to prepare for the filing. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in, and subscribe. I'll be updating more clients in the future about what's happening, and other subscribers as well.